The Half-Life series. With it comes a genuine love by so many who've played it. The scope of the story is as enormous as it is mysterious. It's a masterpiece that would seem bizarre and silly if it wasn't so goddamn brilliantly done. This franchise has got creatures spilling into Earth from a rupture in the space-time continuum, and a cross-dimensional alien empire that suppresses humanity in grotesque ways, draining our oceans, erasing our memories, mutating us. These games have a style of storytelling that somehow glues this absurd universe together in a way that's realistic rather than overdone. We can thank Valve for this mind-blowing game because at the core of their storytelling lies a unique protagonist, the centerpiece that makes this ridiculous dystopian reality work. The path he burns through his world feels so natural as living at times. This isn't a story following the protagonist, this is a story from the protagonist. This is the story of Morgan Freeman. Morgan Freeman was born with the voice of God and a cigar in mouth. He was raised in Memphis, Tennessee, the son of a teacher and a barber. He rose to stardom in acting from an early age, eventually to take... what's that? Gordon Freeman, you said? Gordon Freeman? I suppose that would have changed some things. Yes, Gordon Freeman, the infamous silent hero in this beautifully rendered, gritty, science-y universe. How could I forget? Well, let's get back to business. How does Valve pull off a plot that spans decades and dimensions, building believable character interactions with beings that barely make any sense at all? It's as if everything is unfolding right before Gordon's eyes. Your eyes. But blah 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 projecting yourself onto silent characters, blah blah, we've been over that before. There's something special about these eyes, about what they see, and how they see it. This is the story of Gordon Freeman, the story you never knew. Ah yes, where do I begin? What's so special about the experience we see through those deep emerald eyes? Let's start with the all-important basics and then move on to the far more profound advanced stuff. These basics have everything to do with Valve's choice to seamlessly combine gameplay with storytelling at every point in time. What do I mean by that? Let's start from the beginning with an example straight from Gordon's life. The original Half-Life is a perfect place to start. We first peer through Gordon's eyes in Black Mesa, a secret laboratory in New Mexico. He's a 27-year-old physicist, fresh out of grad school at MIT, about to conduct a groundbreaking science experiment that would change the course of human existence. You're riding on Black Mesa's tram system, casually observing the ins and outs of the facility. You'll notice there's no sweeping shots of the environment, no pre-rendered action scene to reel you in, no tutorials, just you in a tram during a day in the life of Gordon Freeman, watching the world go by. You're late to work like a typical engineer when fake Barney the security guard tells you to don your soon-to-be famous hazard suit for an important experiment in the test chamber. You can spot this guy with the suit and briefcase along the way, a mysterious character who appears and watches you throughout the game. Still on the theme of creepy, the banter between your co-workers is unsettling. Everyone's voicing concern about possible repercussions. The suspense builds, all scientists around you lacking confidence, but continuing anyways because, well, why not? All I gotta do is push this yellow crystal thing into that beam so we can analyze it. You know, cool science stuff. So here we go.
Come here, Gordon. Get away from the beam. Shutting down. No. Attempting shutdown. It's not shutting down. It's not.
Hey, you guys said everything would be fine. Where the... MIT didn't prepare me for this shit. What have we done? What's that, Mr. Scientist? A resonance cascade? Yes. A portal between our world and an alien world has been opened. Aliens are now passing through the rift into our dimension, and we caused it. Gordon Freeman and his team at Black Mesa have messed with something they couldn't control. This is where Gordon's perspective on this really pays off. As I hinted at earlier, Half-Life tells its story with no cutscenes, no third-person shots of any kind. Everything is in first person, from Gordon Freeman's point of view. Rather than watching a story about a fake science phenomenon causing a rift in the space-time continuum, you live it through the man in the orange suit. This makes the game that much more intense, but it doesn't stop there, because only seeing things from Freeman's perspective makes this story more believable and terrifying. Take this idea and combine it with Valve filling Half-Life to the brim with awesome realistic little details, like being able to sneak under fake Barney's desk and turn the alarm on, or passing by a microwave that's burning the shit out of a casserole. And you have a story that's immersive on two fronts. From here, Half-Life's plot is mostly based on the simple objective of Gordon reaching the surface safely. Simple enough, but it's not that simple. The US government hears of the resonance cascade at Black Mesa and promptly sends a military force to take control of the situation. Unfortunately, taking control means leaving no scientist or alien alive as part of a large-scale government cover-up. The orange-clad science man has no patience for non-laissez-faire governing tactics though, and greets the unfriendly soldiers with his crowbar and bullets. The genius behind the original Half-Life doesn't come from an ever-evolving plot, but rather the ever-evolving gameplay between point A and point B and the powerful immersion that accompanies it. Until the tail end of the game, in fact, the goal is for Gordon Freeman to just not die. But here's where things get interesting. You find out the only way to stop this alien invasion is to go through a portal and kill the Nihilinth, a telepathic, omnipotent being keeping the portal open from Zen, the realm where all these creepy bastards are coming from. Naturally, you spend a good amount of time in this other dimension, blasting and floating your way through a corner of the universe that's flat out bizarre, terrifying, and almost unbelievable. To add to this scary place, the Nihilinth communicates with you through cryptic, barely understandable telepathic messages. You inevitably encounter the Nihilinth as the final boss, hovering in an empty chamber as an enormous and mutilated fetus-like being that can fire orbs at you by simply willing them into existence. The battle with this hideous creature is excruciating, but ultimately closes the portal to Earth when the gigantic Overmind falls dead from your weapons. Although you've quelled the source of the alien invasion, you've trapped yourself in Zen. It's just you and this mysterious man who's watched you silently your whole journey. He comes to you with a job offer and an unsettling monologue to go with it.
You've proved yourself a decisive man, so I don't expect you'll have any trouble deciding what to do. Otherwise, well, I can offer you a battle you have no chance of winning. Time to choose.
This supernatural business dude is known as the G-Man, and he never specifies what working for him will entail. Only that if you decide against him, he'll give you a battle you have no chance of winning. If you don't know what that means, play the game and don't walk into the portal. It is quite the anticlimax to all you've been through. With all that behind us, Half-Life should leave you scratching your head a bit. To summarize, a guy fresh out of grad school and his team accidentally created a resonance cascade, which tore a rift between our world and another dimension. Aliens started coming to Earth from this other dimension, killing and infesting everyone in their path. The government tried to cover it up, failed, then this man with the well-groomed goatee and bright orange hazmat suit transcended dimensions to kill a giant fetus that's keeping the portal open. Only then does a ghostly man with a briefcase initiate you into a new job by having you walk through a portal to somewhere. Before I clarify how absurd this plot is, I would also like to say that I genuinely think it is brilliant. This game has a series of ridiculous events spanning from a scientific phenomenon that's complete bullshit. Yes, Valve made up the term resonance cascade, yet I absolutely believe the story of Half-Life is phenomenal. To pull off a plot this mind-blowingly insane without coming off as cheesy or overdone is a true feat. Yes, plenty of well-received titles have writing similarly ridiculous, however not a single one of these garnered even close to 50 Game of the Year awards. Half-Life revolutionized the first-person shooter, but it would not have gained such a renowned reputation with great gameplay alone. The context this well-crafted gameplay was presented in had monumental importance to the success of the title. With all that in mind, I'd like to talk to you about immersion. Immersion is the idea of being completely engrossed, becoming the character rather than just playing as one. Perhaps the single greatest enemy of immersion is when the suspension of disbelief is broken. This shattering of the illusion that this is all real happens most often in stories when something unbelievable or clearly scripted occurs. Often through bad acting, when the setting lacks a level of realism, or when something that's too crazy to be real happens. Let's see what Half-Life does to keep us believing. It certainly has quality voice acting. The setting around Gordon has so many little intricacies that mimic the detail of the real world, but that last one, how does this title not break this rule? It all goes back to those emerald eyes. Recall that Half-Life uses no cutscenes. Everything is seen through Gordon Freeman's eyes. This is not a story. This is his life. Your life. If you were walking to the grocery store and saw aliens with tiny hats wreaking havoc while everyone was freaking the fuck out, you'd probably start freaking out too, rather than say to yourself that this is stupid and walk away like people do with bad movies. By putting yourself solely behind the glasses of Gordon, Valve has brought the saying "seeing is believing" to a whole new level. Of course, this was combined with fantastic acting, level design, and gameplay. But this first-person perspective of everything ties this beautiful combination together. They've raised the bar for themselves, though. Surely Half-Life 2 can't live up to its predecessor. Well, actually, it totally can. And with this new installment, Valve builds an image of Gordon even more profound than his portrayal in the original. Let's see what we got.
Rise and shine, Mr. Freeman. Rise and shine.
Okay.
The right man in the wrong place can make all the difference in the world. So wake up, Mr. Freeman. Wake up and smell the ashes.
This game really fucks with your head. That was G-Man again, waking you up after a 20-something year stasis in a safe corner of the universe. He's brought you back to Earth, and things have changed after 2 decades. The resonance cascade at Black Mesa was detected by a trans-dimensional alien empire called the Combine that conquers entire planets to drain their resources for purposes unknown. Humanity has been enslaved, our oceans are being drained, our sexual desires are suppressed under an energy field, and this fucker has his face plastered everywhere. Yep, things are pretty shitty in the year 2020-something, but perhaps there is one person who can hit Control-Z on this whole ordeal. Gordon Freeman is back in City 17, a metropolis under Combine control overlooked by the Citadel. Half-Life 2 is a grim universe where the human race is dwindling. There is no child to be seen since the suppression field went up some 20 years ago. It radiates from the Citadel, blocking the formation of proteins essential to human reproduction. This game does quickly jump to a positive note though. You're soon found by your old friend Barney, who is a security guard back at Black Mesa. Now he's undercover as a Combine soldier, working alongside a former Black Mesa scientist, Dr. Kleiner. Barney points you in the right direction towards Kleiner's hidden laboratory in City 17. On your way there, Alex Vance, the daughter of Eli Vance from Black Mesa, saves you from Combine soldiers. And so begins the sexual tension. You fight your way to Dr. Kleiner's, where you're reunited with your old orange friend. From there, you kill tons of enemies on your way to Black Mesa East, Eli Vance's hideout, where he and a certain Dr. Mossman work on overthrowing the Combine rule. Upon arrival, Alex gives you the gravity gun, a weapon that's able to pull in objects and hurl them at high speeds. And, despite you being a man of few words, your relationship with Alex begins to build here as she teaches you how to use this iconic weapon. If only it wasn't for that damn suppression field. Fortunately for the young pair, the best attraction is one built on romance over time, sweating, bleeding, and overthrowing an interdimensional alien empire together. Ah, love. Alas, their presumed affection cannot be for now, because the Combine invades Black Mesa East, capturing Eli and Mossman while forcing you to sneak out the back through Ravenholm, the scariest goddamn place on Earth. But you make it through that zombie-infested hellhole and take this sweet dune buggy along the beach to Nova Prospect, the prison holding Eli and Mossman. You and Alex locate Eli Vance, only to discover Mossman is sided with the Combine, promptly teleporting herself and Eli to the ever-ominous Citadel. The Combine teleporter explodes, however, as you use it to escape Nova Prospect. Some complicated sciencey stuff happened though, and you two were caught in a slow teleport. A week has passed in that time. Word of your infiltration of Nova Prospect has spread over the populace, inspiring a revolution. City 17 is now a war zone between Combine forces and well-armed rebels. During a skirmish, however, Valve gives the middle finger to strong female characters when Alex Vance is captured by the Combine and taken to the Citadel as a damsel in distress. After much gravity gunning and various pew-pewing, you enter the gigantic tower which houses not only your dear friends, but also the bulk of Combine military power. In the process of making your way up the Citadel, you're put inside of a confiscation chamber, which destroys all of your weapons, save for the gravity gun, which has been supercharged. With the new and improved weapon, you're able to kill small armies of Combine soldiers until unexpectedly you're captured and taken up to Breen's office in custody. Breen unveils to you all his plan to further increase Combine suppression of humanity, striking a nerve in Mossman, who apparently was told otherwise by Breen. Now, Mossman feels betrayed, force locking the doors to keep Overwatch soldiers out. She's back on your side. As she works to free you, Breen uses the gravity gun to stun everyone so he may escape to a teleporter. Combine teleportation technology is clunky and inefficient, however, giving you just enough time to halt Breen as the massive contraption powers up. With the overcharged gravity gun, Overwatch forces fall as you rise upwards via a series of ramps and elevators. Finally within range, Breen begs you to stop as you hurl high-energy orbs at the portal reactor over and over and over again, until at last, it happens.
Time, Dr. Freeman? You've done a great deal in a small time span. I've received some interesting offers for your services. Rather than offer you the illusion of free choice, I will take the liberty of choosing for you. If and when your time comes round again.
Back into stasis Freeman goes, until G-Man decides his time has come again. Answers are scarce in this game. The fate of Alex, Breen, Eli, Mossman, and the entirety of City 17 is left unsaid. At the very least, a massive blow has been delivered to the Combine forces, but how much of their empire remains outside of the Citadel? The ending is bittersweet at best, clutching however to a silver lining. Gordon Freeman is alive in one form or another, and from him will come something humanity has not seen in over 2 decades: children. Throughout the second Half-Life, Gordon's relationship with Alex and the utter lack of children are underlying themes. In fact, when wandering an abandoned playground in City 17, the barely audible sound of children laughing can be heard among scattered toys long since forgotten. A surreal reminder of how different life is for us now. More uplifting though, the chemistry between Alex and Gordon can be seen in its subtleties, most recently back in the Citadel as Freeman descends an elevator just before his final encounter with Breen, Alex is seen looking at Gordon longingly. Perhaps more humorously, early on in Black Mesa East, Eli jokes to his daughter, "There's nothing Gordon can't handle, with the possible exception of you, Alex." She of course acts embarrassed, but the connection is there, and Eli Vance sees it. With the Citadel heavily compromised, the suppression field will certainly be down in Half-Life 2 Episode 1, allowing not only the general population to get nasty, but maybe Gordon and Alex as well. With that, I'd like to poetically say that Gordon Freeman is the father of humanity, and Alex the mother. Regardless of whether or not Gordon plants his seed, he has led the charge against Combine suppression of humanity. He's made monumental progress towards making life worth living again, and keeping it going as well. Valve's choice to tell this saga through the perspective of Gordon Freeman has made this insanity believable and emotional. But built on that immersive storytelling is the idea that every subsequent generation for the rest of time owes its life to Gordon Freeman. Half-Life 2 Episodes 1 and 2 are what we have left. And wait, we're how many minutes in? On to Episode 2! Much of the game is spent keeping a message for reinforcements from reaching the Combine homeworld. In the midst of the story, however, Alex is mortally wounded by a hunter, kept alive only by Vortigaunt powers that weave Gordon's life with hers. Doesn't get much cuter than that. Cuter still, referencing a public speech made by Kleiner about everyone getting busy now that the Citadel is destroyed, Eli jokes with Alex, "That's good, because now that the suppression field is down, we all have to do our part. Can you blame an old man for wanting grandkids? No, we can't, Eli. No, we can't." I won't give any more of the plot of Episode 2 away, just know that it's totally worth playing, and the ending is heavy, man. It's not essential to my main points though, so no need to spoil it. Conclusion time! The Half-Life series is an epic story told entirely from the perspective of a man named Gordon Freeman. The plot spans decades and dimensions. It presents to you things that are absolutely impossible, yet it all feels so real. The beauty of this series is how it can capitalize on the intensity of ridiculous situations while never spilling into the realm of silliness. This brilliant, first-person storytelling makes for an even more powerful theme throughout Half-Life 2. A theme which says we have Gordon to thank for any hope of humanity's future. Those eerie references to a childless society which permeate Half-Life 2, either by direct conversation or haunting atmospherics, are sharply contrasted by Gordon and Alex's relationship, a connection that builds so naturally through mutual reliance on one another and even their lives being bound together. It's possible their connection will bring children of its own, a perfect fit for Gordon's poetic title as the father of humanity, but only Half-Life 3 will tell. On a related note, I'm impressed with myself for not making a single Half-Life 3 confirmed joke. Wait, damn it! Whatever. Gordon Freeman's journey from being a new hire at Black Mesa to becoming the father of humanity is filled with absurd happenings like the Resonance Cascade, impossible, time-bending beings like G-Man, and brutal, disgusting empires like the Combine, all of which cross between dimensions while appearing so unsettling rather than nonsensical. Valve has given us an iconic saga about conquering these reality-shattering obstacles to become the father of generations to come, told entirely through the eyes of Gordon Freeman. This first-person narration combined with the profound undertones of Gordon's relationship with Alex forms the story that makes this beautiful game work. The story you never knew.
Don't miss. Coming soon.
Hey guys, thanks for watching. That one took us a really long time, so I really hope you liked it.
You should really support us by subscribing to this YouTube channel, following us on Twitter, and liking us on Facebook. Also, you should check out some of our other videos, like clicking on us to get a link, because that's freaking funny, and click down below to see Faith. And we really hope you like this video, and stay tuned in 2 weeks for the new one.
Bye.
Yeah.